Giovinazzo, a small town with an enchanting medieval centre, lies just 20 kilometres north of Bari, on the shores of the Adriatic Sea. Its surrounding territory is dedicated to the cultivation of olives, and it is there, in the midst of the countryside, that the family company, Le Due Benedette, has its groves. There they cultivate their olives with strict respect for nature, according to the rules and regulations that govern organic produce, upholding the family tradition. This home video documents a typical harvest. All the groves have names, and this one is Gian Morolo, where we shall start. Its olives are mostly of the Olirola cultivar. These olive trees produce small fruit with an early veraison that go from light green hues to violet, that indicate their maturity, ready for the harvest. The Olirola olive, also known as Cima di Bitonto, is a native olive to the area. Many of these trees were uprooted in the 50s in favour of a more productive cultivar. Those that were not uprooted are now secular, with proud, twisting and twining trunks that go to form the most intricate of textures, of great beauty, feeding the imagination with their history. These olives allow Le Due Benedette to produce a light blend of oil that is tasty without being too spicy, whilst at the same time conserving its typical slightly bitter aftertaste. If we move on to the grove called Pizzicocca, overlooking the sea, then the taste changes completely. Here, Le Due Benedette produces its organic oil that takes its name from the grove itself, La Pizzicocca. It is a monoculture extra virgin olive oil, where only the Coretina olive, another cultivar typical to the area, is used. This root is larger, with a later veraison that gives a higher produce than does the Olirola. Its bouquet is heavily perfumed and offers a round, slightly sapid taste, due to its location, so close to the sea, mitigating the bitter and spicy taste typical of the Coretina olive. The harvesting is done both manually, by beating, and mechanically. Gentle mechanical shakers are used on the large branches and boughs, along with the manual beating with long sticks, thus reducing the vibration to a minimum, allowing the olives to drop naturally into the nets below. In fact, Le Due Benedette makes every effort to protect the environment, not only by avoiding the use of chemicals in farming, but also taking care not to harm the local wildlife or their habitats. Indeed, these secular olive tree trunks are home to the geckos of Koski. If tractor-driven mechanical shaker harvesting were used, the vibration to the trunks would be so high that many specimens of this endangered species would end up in the nets, along with the olives. The agricultural landscape is enchanting, rich in history and tradition, with borders defined by traditional dry stone walls. The view is dotted here and there with age-old shelters and storehouses for men and animals, the truly traditional Apulian dry stone huts with conical roofs, and some sacred buildings made of stone that were once used as prayer houses to unite farmers working far from towns in prayer. Let's take a break for those of you who love archaeological sites. There is the beautiful dolmen of San Silvestro, symbol of the megalithic funerary monument common in Europe, located amidst Giovinazzo's olive groves. Let's get back to our harvest. It will last from 20 days to about a month. The weather is on our side this time. Even if it's early November, it's dry and warm. The harvest day starts very early, but everybody is full of enthusiasm. In fact, the harvest represents a moment of joy. It is when the fruit of a full year's hard toil can be gathered, a time when sweat and fatigue turns into a tangible product. The final milestone of an unforeseeable natural cycle, at the mercy of adverse climatic conditions and events. The secret to obtain a profuse oil with the correct basic acidity is to get the olives to the mill and crushed within 24 hours of harvesting. We are watching the milling of the olives, how the temperature is controlled and the process is carried out. The old millstones still perform their traditional tasks, but are now coated in stainless steel to meet hygiene rules and regulations. The oil will then be stored in stainless steel silos of 1,000 litres, waiting to be certified organic before being put on sale. The last grove to be harvested is the Peruginoso, the most extensive of the groves owned by le due Benedette. These trees are old and tightly knotted as they proudly silhouette the sky, gathering around the rustic main building. Here, the oil produced is extra virgin organic, of medium texture and flavour, with a light note of artichoke and tomato, with its own decisive character laced with spice. The seasonal harvesters, who come back year after year, joke as they beat the boughs with their long sticks and follow the flow of the olives as they drop into their nets. They drag nets into groves in choreographed, well-organized dance, where each and every movement is coordinated in unison. Their season will continue up until January, whilst our little trip will finish here. Luckily, also this year went off well too.